Hot Peppers' Californication is a song about false hope. It's it's a facade that we buy, and it's easy to blame the media and go, well, they are feeding it to us, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but that's not the whole truth. The thing is, if there wasn't a demand for it, there wasn't a consumption, they can't sell what is not true. And, or well, I shouldn't say that. They can't sell the kind of facade and the surfacey gloss uh, stories, images, concepts that they feed. And in the information age, it's, everything is out there in internet, right? And then technology is there to make up anything. And on one hand, I am a firm believer that, don't let a good story, don't let truth get in the way of a good story, because that's what our imagination, where it roams free, and we shouldn't have to sort of bind ourselves to particular constraints. But on the other hand, as a consumer of information, it's all the more important for us to really ground ourselves in our reality, and to really, well, I mean, to put it bluntly, don't believe everything that we see. And more importantly, don't buy into everything that we hear. As it's very easy, when you're exposed to so much of it, to let that sort of sink in, sort of subliminally, and then just get without really realizing, you're buying into the illusion of certain things being certain way. People from outside of U.S. Look at the movies, or look at California, images of California, and think that's what U.S. is like. And of course, that's like surface, right? I mean, that's just, while that's not untrue, but that's not the whole truth. And the letdown occurs when you get misled by just a tiny sliver of truth, that the good looking ones, and let that sort of get into a head as like that's the reality, and you get into the situation, and then the whole truth hit you, and then you're like, whoa, I had no idea. And it's like the moment of the naivety or innocence getting lost in a way. And to me, this song is about that. It's just, there's this real sort of a giving up, or sort of hands in the air, kind of going, well, that's what's going on kind of vibe. And it's, to me, it's like a warning, or it's a bit of a sobering reality, that's the reality that we live in, that we have too much information, and a lot of the information is focusing on the parts that we want to see, the parts that do engage us, because we let ourselves get engaged that way, just because there's too much of it, and then everybody's trying to sort of hone in on that tiny sliver that is the engaging part. And again, it's okay to have fantasies, it's okay to have dreams, stories, inspirations. There's plenty that we can engage in, but with the awareness that is in our mind, and not necessarily reality. And we want to stay grounded with our senses and with our immediate reality, so that we are not misled, so that we don't go out thinking that something that we see on the internet or something that we see on screen is the reality. And that's hard to do, but it's becoming ever more so true as the time goes on.